It's your boy, Jeff Jones.
You know it's the upset specialist, Thomas Boykin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always and forever. Who, Mike Jones?
Mike Jones. And this is 234 Sports Talk. Fellas, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's get at it.
All right, the new college AP Top 25 poll is out. And we're just going to run down the rankings where everybody's positioned. They have Georgia, of course, at number 1. Ohio State, number 2. Michigan, number 3. TCU, number 4. Tennessee, number 5. Oregon, number 6. LSU, number 7. USC at number 8. UCLA, number 9. And number 10, Alabama. And I'm going to go down just a little bit further. Ole Miss, number 11. And Clemson at number 12. How do you guys feel about that? Do they get it right? Or is there somebody that you feel like, no, they shouldn't be in that position?
7-2 should never be in front of 6-1. Never in life. Never in life. So in my estimation, LSU should be below UCLA and USC, period. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. And with USC having lost to Utah, UCLA will be in front of USC if you're going to run it that way. Because UCLA, of course, beat Utah, which is in their division. So I agree. Up to that, I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Well, this weekend is big, a lot of games going on. Are there any games that stand out to you, Mike Jones, that you guys want to discuss on this morning?
Well, yeah, of course. And I kind of want to pick it back off of I'm going to scoot it back just a little bit what Thomas said with the ranking part of it. Yeah, I didn't too much care for LSU, a 7-2 program, being ahead of a one-loss team. You know what I'm saying? Just because, and that's the thing, man, because you beat Alabama, it gives you that much weight. You know what I'm saying? And I think even with Tennessee, it kind of done the same thing. It gave them a lot of weight, but at the same time, Alabama was ranked number 6 when Tennessee played them. So I get that. But now beating Alabama, if Ole Miss beats Alabama today, do they sit and jump 3 or 4? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I get Alabama has been great, but anyway, yeah, again, now fast forward. There is 3 games that sticks out of my mind, but the number 1 game that sticks out of my mind, which has a very impact on this T right here, is TCU versus Texas. So I'm going to be colorblind because there is a different color of an orange when it comes to Tennessee and Texas. So today, granted, I'm wearing this, but later on tonight, man, I might get some crayon and color this in just a little bit darker, and I'm rooting for Texas. But I look for TCU to sit and get upset in Austin, Texas today.
Wow.
What you think about it, fellas?
Wow.
What you think about it?
Wow. You think the Longhorns got that much juice?
I think so, brother.
I'm going to tell you like this. It depends on which Texas comes to play. Because, there's been times Texas comes to play and there's Texas times they don't. TCU is one of them teams that is very, very prolific and can put up points in a hurry, like your Tennessees and your Ohio States. So if they're not careful, this game can turn into a rout real quick. But I wouldn't mind seeing Texas beat them. But I think TCU has come so far that they see the eyes on the prize. I think they get Texas.
Really?
Just to keep running with their ranking at 4, I think they win this game.
Really? And then I'm going to say this too, Thomas. quarterback for TCU, Max Duggan.
Yep.
And he's a beast. He's a beast. I mean, he's one of them guys you got to mention. Of course, the Heisman.
Yeah, because
But
he's undervalued. That's for sure.
right. But then I'm gonna jump on the other side of the ball. Quinn Edwards, the quarterback, man, hey, he's not a slouch either. And
No.
then
No.
Texas has those running backs that's a problem. They is a problem on the ground. If TCU cannot stop the run, they better not come to Austin tonight. And then not only that, man, and granted, Texas is a fast starting team so far. Their problem is that in the second half they start giving up. They start giving points away. Which TCU, they slow starting, then they crank up in the second half. So that's gonna be a contrast of style. So whoever can sit and hold up their end of the bargain, or whoever can get the most points on their side of the half, if Texas can max out their points in the first half, and then TCU come in on the second half and they max out. So, but still, I still love Texas. They is a hard physical football team. I don't think TCU is going to be able to match that intensity. It's a night game in Austin. Look for Texas. If not, they got Texas favored by 7.5. I look for Texas to probably swing this thing over by 17 points.
Ooh, Mike Jones.
I'm gonna tell you like this, MJ. Just like you said, Texas might have the ground game, but TCU's air assault is undeniable. Their air assault is phenomenal, and their wide receiver core is definitely fast.
Thanks.
So it's going to be like you said, it's going to be a matter of whose style dominates.
Right.
But I look for it to be a great game.
Mm-hmm. Then Jones, I'm finna sit, man. Another game, man, that's caught my eye is Oregon and Washington.
Yes.
Bo Nix and
yes.
Mike Penix, the former Indiana star quarterback, they're gonna duel it out, man. Hey, if Oregon wins this game, Oregon said, I believe, if they keep winning, they control their own destiny. That may be the fourth team that's gonna be in this college football playoffs. Which,
Bo Nix, the former Auburn quarterback, yes, sir. He's looked after the game against Georgia. It seemed like it's a whole different Oregon team. It seemed like they sprouted and took off, and they're a legitimate force. Their problem is this: they still got to play UCLA or USC, one of them, and that's going to be the problem because now they're going to run into a team that's just as good. So they're going to be good until they play USC, UCLA. I forget which one it is, but they're going to be good up until then. I don't think anybody beats them up to now. I don't think Washington got enough to beat them. I don't think they got enough to beat them, although Washington will make it entertaining. I think that's one of them games that they get up for. So they're going to make it interesting.
Right. I agree with you, man. I don't think Washington has enough juice.
No.
They don't have enough juice in Oregon, man. They you would think with coaching change and everything that has happened with Oregon over the years, recent years, that there would be a let off. But man, they hold and serve, man. I'm impressed with them.
Yeah, they like I said, since the loss to Georgia, they put their foot on the accelerator, and it's been go.
Yeah. Kind of lets you wonder, hey, is Georgia just that much better than everybody?
Just like I tell people now with Notre Dame coming into prominence. When they lost to Ohio State, did we lose to Notre Dame before they got their traction? Did we beat Notre Dame before they caught traction?
I
never know.
And then too, look, I'm gonna this is for Oregon to fail. Even though I'm a Tennessee guy, and I want Oregon to fail at but when you have a whole off season to prepare for a team, as both teams did, Georgia and Oregon, I think if you give Kirby Smart enough time to dissect your offense, he's gonna make you look like you a kid. And I think that's probably what he did with Oregon. And he had already said with Tennessee, he had been practicing against that offense back in the summer. So he's been these prolific type of offense he's been working on. If he's got enough time, he's gonna shut you down. So I don't think that's a knock against Oregon or Tennessee. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I just think you just had a better coach that sit up there that prepared very well. Oregon probably is a very good team, a great team, probably.
Like you just said, the key word is preparation. And it seems like Georgia comes into every game prepared for any situation that's thrown at them. You can't deny. I mean, like I said, you can't move a number one team out of number one until you beat them. And ain't nobody yet solved that riddle of Georgia. Just that simple.
Well, look, even with Georgia, see, my problem was I was never really concerned about Georgia defense. I was more concerned about their offense. Georgia offense is just prolific as Oregon, Tennessee, or TCU. So
I'm glad you said that because your boy deserves some credit. Stetson Bennett has been outstanding this season. He's not going out trying to overachieve. He's doing what his team needs to win. So kudos to that guy. Stetson Bennett's been playing a whale of a season.
And you want to know something else too, Thomas, man, and Jeff? I love how the offensive coordinator runs that offense. I don't see why a lot of coaches don't do this. They run that play action, man. You don't know if that running back's going to get it or he's going to swing it, and then they say, he's rolling out. Yeah. Is he rolling out to run or is he rolling out to hit the tight end in the flat? I mean, you just don't know. Play action is a monster.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of play action, Mike Jones, because it keeps the defense guessing.
Yeah, the RPOs is always, you just don't know.
Yep.
So, it's going to be an interesting weekend. All this is getting ready to come to a head in a couple of weeks. It's getting ready to come to a head. Especially Cowboys. It's getting ready to come to a head in a couple of weeks.
Somebody gonna have to pop, and the committee gonna have to pop that little pimple. Hey, but look, there's another game, man. It's two more games, man. That is really, LSU against Arkansas. Now, a lot of people sitting up there has anointed LSU. They went out. They play in the SEC championship and beat Georgia. They automatically in. I get that. But guess what? They got to win out to make it to the SEC championship. And today, they got to play Arkansas Razorback. And that ain't no easy task. That is not an easy task. And I think they are playing that game in Fayette, Arkansas, or wherever they play in Arkansas. So do not count this as a win for LSU. Arkansas is going to give them, this is going to be K. Jefferson against Jaden Daniels. I'm going to tell you, man, look for that to be an upset. What you think?
I'm going to disagree with one thing that you said, MJ. Here's the deal with the SEC. Everybody says, if LSU runs the table, they win the national champ. They go to the SEC championship game. How do you figure that if Tennessee runs the table and they run the table, how is LSU going to get in front of Tennessee? And Tennessee's already beaten LSU soundly. So the only way LSU gets into a SEC championship game is Tennessee got to lose again. That's the only way they get in. And even in at a 7-2 record, if they max out with 2 losses, they still don't get in because Tennessee owns the tiebreaker. So there's no way they get in. unless Tennessee loses twice.
Well, I'm gonna say this, Tom, a little bit right here. Now, I don't know if you're getting a little bit confused now, because LSU is in the West with Alabama, and Tennessee is in the East. So if LSU can beat Arkansas today, and I don't know who else they got, then they would go to the SEC West to play probably against a Georgia. See, Georgia and Tennessee is on this other side. So then
okay. I got you. Okay, I got it. I was thinking they was on the same side as Tennessee.
Nah. LSU's on the West and Tennessee and Georgia's on the East. So
okay,
if LSU can
then I see it. Well, now they got to deal with the monster. Then they got to beat Georgia. That ain't happening.
They beat the monster. Then yeah, I can see them maybe getting. They got a great argument. But the problem is today they got to play Arkansas.
Yeah, and Arkansas is one of the teams you just don't know which Arkansas is going to show up.
Right.
Because if you go back to the beginning of this season, Arkansas was a ranked team in the beginning of the season.
Right.
So it's just a matter of which Arkansas shows up, and it's going to show, can LSU stop the running game, because Arkansas going to run the ball down their throat if they don't.
If you look, KJ Jefferson, he was hurt for a few of those games that they did lose. I mean, he ain't been 100 all season. Right. So I think he's at full strength today. And look, LSU, as good as they've been, they still vulnerable. I mean, yeah, they picked up steam and they're looking good right now, but they're very successful to a loss. You know, especially if they're playing away from home, you know, and you go to Razorback country, man, they're going to give you all they got, man.
I'll tell you what, if they follow the Tennessee blueprint, because the Tennessee blueprint, it wasn't close. I mean, it wasn't close. So, I mean, it can happen.
And so that leads me to my last point, guys. You know, we had spoke earlier about the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, they go against Ole Miss. Ole Miss has only lost one game, so they're still in the running, too, for the SEC West to play in that title game against Georgia. So if the son can beat the daddy, which is Lane Kiffin, can beat Nick Saban, guess what? They got a shot. And people don't realize if Nick Saban can sit and win this game, you know what I'm saying, and keep winning, LSU lose today, guess what? And then Alabama sit and make it to the SEC championship, and they play against Georgia and beat an undefeated Georgia. And then some other chips fall. Oregon lose today. I mean, we're talking a lot of ills, but guess what? Alabama is still not completely dead.
No, they're done. They're done.
Jones,
I think them guys is done, Mike Jones. I think they on life support, but if you take them off, they're gonna die.
Put a fork in them. Them boys is done.
What about Clemson?
Done.
Clemson is done.
Whoa.
Clemson is done.
Hey, so what y'all seeing right now is this is it. This is pretty much what's gonna make it in.
Here's the deal. There's only gonna be one more undefeated team that's gonna lose their O. Ohio State, Michigan. That's definite. One of them is gonna lose their O. It's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't see Georgia losing at all. I don't see Georgia losing at all. TCU got to survive, like you said, they got to survive this game with Texas. That's going to be a huge game. But as far as Alabama, nah, they're no. It's too many one-loss teams that's in front of them.
Right. But like you said, there will be only two teams with
really undefeated.
And then you got everybody with one loss. One loss.
You got the potential of three teams going undefeated if they run the table. Georgia, which I don't see them losing. like I said, Ohio State or Michigan is one of them is going to lose their O. And if TCU survive, TCU runs the table and is undefeated. So you still have the possibility of 3 undefeated teams in your top 4.
Mm-hmm. But you want to know something? The committee and man, if you watch some of these analysts on TV, man, they really don't want a TCU. They do not want a team from the Big 12 representing being one of those college
No.
spots.
You know why? Because they were disappointed with Cincinnati last year because Cincinnati did all the work to get to the CF, to get to that.
Right. Now
we got another situation with TCU doing the same thing, except TCU is making it look TCU's done put in the work.
Right.
But I mean, it's possible. We could have another Cinderella that could actually make some noise because TCU can make some noise.
Mm-hmm. But look, Jones, I'm gonna say this, man. As far as the top 4 right now,
mm-hmm.
I don't have any complaints about it, man. I think I think the committee got it right. I think 1 through 6 is probably about right.
1 through 6 is legitimate. I agree with you on that, Mike Jones. Definitely.
I don't have no bones with the top 6. Nah, I don't got no bones with that. Not at all.
Let me ask you fellas a question. Okay, we know that Ohio State and Michigan, they on the collision course. Okay, when that game happens, what do you think is going to happen to the loser of that game? Right now, Ohio State sits at 2, Michigan sits at number 3.
That's the big question. Because now you got to look at if Tennessee runs the table, is Tennessee not deserving of being in the top 4? You got to look at, I don't think there's really any other, only really team that you got to worry about is 1 through 5, really. And it's just really what happens to 2 or 3 when 2 and 3 play, who's going to drop the furthest, if they drop at all. Because if you get, the committee might look at, well, 2 and 3 played each other, and especially if it's a close game, they may flip-flop 2 and 3 and put Ohio State 3 and Michigan 2. You never know. Now, here's where I think Tennessee gets in. If TCU loses this game tonight, Tennessee moves it 4. Without question, Tennessee moves to 4 without question. I don't see nobody leapfrogging Tennessee for that spot if TCU loses this game.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man, my scenario with it, with Ohio State and Michigan, I believe, it's just an opinion, I believe Ohio State could lose by 2 touchdowns and they would still be in that top 4. If Michigan loses by 2 touchdowns, they're gonna bounce them out the top 4. One, because
you make your valid point.
One is because their strength of schedule. And then the other thing is, we talk about this bias thing. If it was Alabama, Ohio State got that VIP card too. You know what I mean? They want to see an Ohio State in this ball game. I guarantee you, they want to see an Ohio State versus Georgia. I guarantee them. Some kind of way or another.
They were looking at that last year.
Right. So I think, but if those 2 games are very close, a field goal, something like that, then I think Michigan might was sitting bounce to maybe a 4. Then either TCU and I get Tennessee. Tennessee still got a lot of work. Tennessee gonna need for a lot of stuff to happen. What I think might happen if Oregon can run the tape, win their conference championship. Granted, they lost to Georgia and they lost to them early. A lot of people forget. Some people don't. you could look for Oregon to be maybe 3. You could look for Georgia, Georgia. How do I have it? Georgia, maybe Ohio State, Oregon, and a Michigan. I mean, it's just so many scenarios. But look, do not count out Oregon and do not count out a Michigan if they lose close. If Michigan lose that game very close, and it's a great game, one to be for the ages, don't look for Michigan to lead that top 4. I don't see it.
Like I said, that's why I said Tennessee. The only thing Tennessee's got to do is run the table. If TCU loses this game, Tennessee undoubtedly will move to 4. Undoubtedly, without question. There's no question in my mind Tennessee moves to 4. There is no way Oregon jumps Tennessee at all, period.
With the conference championship win?
There's no way Oregon jumps Tennessee, period. Especially if Tennessee runs the table, there's no way Oregon jumps Tennessee, period.
Well, look, Thomas. Oregon got to play a ranked Utah team. I think they got to play another. They play ranked Washington team today.
They still Washington ain't ranked. They still got to
25.
No,
they ranked, but they really low. But if not, I think with Tennessee, what's people sitting up there say, well, all Tennessee got to do is win out. But guess what? Tennessee playing some cupcakes the next 3 weeks. That ain't gonna help their strength of schedule.
No, but what does help their strength is, like you said, that VIP card when you knock off Alabama.
Get some brownie points, huh?
Hey.
Y'all started the trend here.
Man, you in.
VIP card.
Hey, it is what it is. But like you said, Oregon still got to survive Utah and UCLA. And if they got to play UCLA, that DTR is going to bring some heat to you.
Yes, sir. Howdy.
Hey, DTR, if you have not watched DTR play, oh my goodness, you need to watch a UCLA game. DTR is the truth.
He's the truth.
Hey, he is a competitor for a quarterback. He's gonna make somebody a real nice draft pick.
Look at him. Thomas a believer, UCLA.
Hey,
what about USC, man?
Hey, you can't sleep on them either. That's another one-loss team that you can't sleep on. Now, you got to think. Now, you said Oregon run this table. If they lose to UCLA, they're done. If they lose to Utah, they're done.
Yeah,
and done. Utah and UCLA is in your top 10. Well, Utah's out in your top 20. UCLA's in your top 10. So, yeah, I think Oregon's been playing some moderate competitors up to now.
Pac-12.
Pac-12 has never been known for strength of schedule at all.
They played Colorado the other day. You know what I'm saying?
Vanderbilt, the Buffaloes ain't been nothing for decades, dude.
Since the 80s, right?
Dude, Colorado was relevant when we was in the military.
In the 80s. In the 80s.
Eric Bieniemy and all them, Cordell Stewart and all them.
Yeah.
They ain't been relevant since. Go Buffs.
Like I said, I'm buying me some orange crayon. Paint this in. I'm giving me some what's that, mean green. I'm gonna wipe it off after the game, but
you gonna get you some burnt orange and put it on there, huh?
Man, what you said?
I think I gotta go with the frogs that one though, bro. I gotta go with the frogs.
Who you got, Jones?
Man, I got TCU. I I think they give it to them. I think they hold off. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think they're gonna hold them off.
That part is facts. This is gonna be a war. This is gonna be a war. Make no mistake about it. This is going to be an all-out who owns Texas.
TCU. Well, fellas, we've talked about it. Until the next time, we'll talk about it again. This
Yes,
man,
sir.
234 Sports Talk. Catch us on Twitter. Catch us on Instagram. Catch us on YouTube. Catch us on TikTok. Like and subscribe. Comment. We want to hear from you. Talk to us so that we can get together and talk about it.
Leave us a
234
topic or
Sports
two.
Talk.
Leave us a topic or two to talk about that you want to hear about us. Let us work it out for you. We can work it out.
All right, fellas, till the next time. 234 Sports Talk, we out.
Yes, sir.